great. But cool. Cool. Okay. So as you can, I put a playlist in the chat. Cool. Okay. So 2 blocks. Also, we're going to start with a blanket. If you're super flexible, you might not need to sit on this, but if you are not, then I recommend getting a blanket. It can be rectangularly folded and then folded in half. Sit down, or if you don't have a blanket, grab a towel. And then you're going to sit up on top of it, facing the front of your mat. I'm just going to face you because it's easier to face you. Cool. And then from there, we're just going to do a little massage to our feet. So if any movement of massaging your feet means anything to you, great. Otherwise, you can just grab your foot using your thumbs and then just go on it like this. Cool. So the theme of today's class is Imagine Dragons. So I'll let you know when to click play on the playlist, because I saw one of my teachers this week, everyone clicked play together, and I thought that was a very cool thing. So we're gonna do that too. Continue massaging your right foot, or whichever foot you started with, just going up and down and kind of like kneading it like you're making bread or something, which you probably have done during COVID. Oh man, what was I saying? We're gonna start from the bottom up. So we're gonna start with our feet and our legs and then move to the top so we can get through all parts of the body. And then using our imagination, hence Imagine Dragons the whole time as much as we can. And then switch over to the other foot. So however you're sitting up on your blanket so your back is super tall, just switch and make yourself comfortable to massage your left foot. I'm just making little circles going up and down either side of my foot. You can also make sure that you get your toes, pulling each and every toe out maybe a little bit. But this is really nice. We don't really take care of our feet that much unless you go get foot massages often, which we can't do right now in Germany. So, or maybe we can, I don't know. The rules are too confusing of what we're can and cannot do. Okay, so take a few more movements here just to massage your feet. And then let that go. Cool. So from there, we're gonna sit on your blanket still and just stretch your legs out. Grab whatever you're using to play the playlist if you want to. And then on 3, 2, 1, we're gonna click play. So that didn't count. So 3, 2, 1, play. Great. So this will be nice to just keep us all in sync virtually. So from here, wherever you're sitting on your blanket, your legs are going to be straight out. They're going to be kind of bent. So your toes are facing up towards the sky, knees are facing up towards the sky. And then bring your right foot in so that it kisses the inside of your left thigh. Still sitting up on your blanket, and then walk yourself forward as much as you can. And this is like the first thing that we're doing. So I don't expect you to go super low. You shouldn't expect your body to go super low. But once you go as far down as you can, keeping your back long, then you can just shake your head out, yes and no. Listening to the music, listening to your breath. And just find that connection, awareness of the breath. May not have thought about it in a while. And then on your next exhale, begin to walk yourself up. Straighten out your right leg in front of you. Give your legs a little shake. Sit yourself up super tall. Once again, find both knees bent and then begin to walk yourself over both legs. Wherever you go, doesn't matter if you're still seated up super tall, just shake your head out. You can rock it side to side or circle it. Whatever feels good. Shoulders are down and away. Listening to your breath. Your eyes can close. And then on your next inhale, you're going to bring your left foot to kiss the inside of your right thigh. Knees slightly bent, sitting up super tall in your blanket, and then walk yourself forward. Again, nothing super crazy. You can take some sways from side to side to start getting into your back as well. We want to get into our legs a little bit more. We'll do some ankle stuff. Cool. A few more breaths. Listening to your breath. And then begin to walk yourself back up. Lengthen out your left leg, give your legs a little bit of a shake. And then on your next inhale, you're just gonna cross your legs one in front of the other and roll over, remove your blanket, put it on the side of your mat, and then come into an all fours position facing the front of your mat. Cool. From here, we're gonna do something kind of weird, and it looks easy, but it's very hard. You're gonna find your hands planted underneath your shoulders, tops of the feet are pressing down, and then keeping your shoulders and hands where they are, you're just gonna lift up the backs of the hands. And they might not go very far. You're really gonna engage your arms, looking down and out, and just noticing what this does to your arms. It's like weirdly, extremely difficult, but something cool to notice what muscles this engages. Shoulders are down the back. Take one more breath, pressing down through the tops of the feet. You're in a perfect tabletop. Last one, come back to your tabletop and then flip your right wrist only around 180 degrees. And if you don't know what that means, or if that hurts a lot, then just flip it out 90 degrees. Cool. And then from there, we'll take our cats and cows. So you're gonna inhale as you arch and exhale as you round. You can take this to the beat of the music or the beat of your breath, or try to sync up the two. And think about pressing down through all parts of the hand, especially the thumb on both sides, and think about spreading your elbows apart from one another, imagining there's a rope in between your elbows, pulling your elbows away from one another to keep your chest broad, your collarbone broad. And your eyes can come to a close here again, if you want to just really think about your mind-body-breath connection and what it feels like without being able to see. We'll take this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then flip the right hand around the normal way, flip the left hand around. Cool. And this time, you can take your cat-cows again in the normal way, inhaling as you arch and exhaling as you round, or you can bring some circles into it too. Just taking any movement that feels good, any pace, just warming up the back and the wrists. Imagining that you're a cat or a dog waking up for the first time in the morning, really wanting to stretch everything out. Imagination is such a big part of yoga, and it really helps you embody the movement even more. So use your imagination, let it go somewhere. Think of something super weird and just think of it and let it pass. It's totally fine. Take this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then instead of flipping both around the normal way, you're gonna flip them both around the weird way and now take circles to the right. Cool. So you can make them as big as you want or as small as you want, just over the wrists. Still imagining that tug of war motion between your elbows, pressing down with the thumbs. And then take circles to the left. And you can shake around your head here, circle it. You can take any customizations that you want that feel good in your back and your spine. Just keep the frame of your arms. Well, one more breath. And then come back to neutral. Place your hands back around the normal way and strongly press them down so you're grounding them into the floor beneath you. Great. And then bring your left knee a little bit more to the center. You're still on your tabletop. And then you're going to use your right knee to just begin to massage up and down your calf. So this is almost like an at-home massage therapy lesson, but it's not, because because I'm not trained in that. This stuff just feels good on our bodies. So it's fun to do. So you can just take circles up and down your entire calf with your knee, looking down and out in front of you. Oopsie. And keep going. And take at least 3 motions down and back up. And once you finish those, then you're gonna rest your right shin on like right where your Achilles is, and then press your hips back to sit in this weird child's pose. So this is a really nice opening for the calf and the Achilles. Take one more breath here. And then bring yourself back forward, other side. So placing your right knee kind of in the center, and then massaging your right calf with your left knee. Opening up all these muscles, giving them a little bit more love. Shoulders are still down, back is still long. Keep breathing. Listening to your breath, noticing where it's going. Notice if you're breathing more in your chest or your belly. And then place your left shin on your Achilles and then press yourself back. You can lengthen out your arms a little bit. Make sure they're still in line with your shoulders. If your head can touch the ground, great. If not, just let it dangle. Try not to hold any tension in your neck. One more breath. And then come back up to your normal all fours, your tabletop. Find your measure, then kiss both knees together, bring your toes together to touch, tuck your toes under, and then sit back on your heels. So from here, this is called toe breaker. So if you feel like your feet are breaking, sorry, untuck your pinky toes to make sure that everything is tucked under. And then we're gonna take some shoulder rolls to try to distract the pain. So place your hands on your fingertips on top of your shoulders, and then just imagine you're swimming backstroke or freestyle with your elbows. And if this feels like a lot in your feet and you can't stay here or do anything, you can place a block underneath your knees, and that helps make it a little bit easier to stay. And keep taking those circles. You can take one at a time. You can take some twists. Try to just move your body in whatever way feels nice to open up the shoulders and the back. 10 more breaths. So breathe as slow or as fast as you want to be here. You can move to the beat of what's playing if you're listening to the music. Great, and after your 10th breath, remove the block if you ended up putting something there. Place your hands back down and then give a pitter patter to the tops of your feet. And if you're still going and breathing, feel free to not rush. We'll all meet here in our tabletop. Hands under shoulders, shoulders are down and back. And then tuck your toes again and just lift your knees an inch. So we're in this like hovered bear crawl pose. Shoulders are still down, back is still long. And then you're gonna bring your right knee to your right elbow, right knee to your left elbow, and then back. Same thing, other side, left knee, left elbow, right elbow, back. And then take it at 4 more times to either side. And then hold your bear crawl after that. Counting, breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Try not to hold your breath here. And I don't know how to count in yoga classes, so I think I did 5. Meeting back in our bear pose. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Now you're in a plank pose. Just find your measure. Hands under shoulders, feet strongly pressing back. And then bend your knees, stick your butt up. Downward facing dog, pedal it out. Walk yourself around. Opening up the backs of the legs. Bending the knees a lot. If your legs feel like they can't straighten, that's totally fine. Keep breathing. And then on your next inhale, you're gonna swing your right arm around and forward. left arm around and forward, and then shake your right leg out, and then your left leg out. It's like we just did the hokey pokey. And then find that bend in your knees, stick your butt up, and find your down dog. Cool. Inhaling and exhaling, rounding your armpits in towards your heart. One more breath here, stick the butt up, bend your knees, and then step your right foot to your right thumb. And this is where we'll bring the blocks in. So your blocks can come on any height underneath your hands. And then find yourself in your low lunge. And then just shake your hips from side to side. Bring them forward and back. And then place your back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Walk the blocks a little bit forward as they can go. And then reach your arms forward, out and up. Cool. From here, you're pressing forward with your hips. And then interlace your hands behind your neck. Hug your elbows in. Lean back a little bit. And then exhale, tuck your chin in. Again, like that. Inhale, lift up, exhale, round. And keep on going. Following your breath. Right knee is still tracking over the right toes. It's the most important thing to have a stable base. Take one more inhale and exhale. Then we'll all meet with our heads back. Let your elbows open. Reach your arms up. Find your blocks. Bring them back on either side of your foot. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. So now we're in this like high-ish lunge. Your left hand will stay on the block, and then your right arm will reach up and open. Cool. So in a low lunge twist. And then you're going to circle your right arm forward. Again. Again. And then backwards 3 times. Cool. Find the right hand on your right block. Pressing down strongly with your right foot. Begin to straighten a little bit into the right leg. And then exhale, bend. Inhale. And exhale. Keep breathing. Take one more, pressing down with both feet, and then lengthen both legs. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, just let your head drop. Strongly pressing down with the back leg. Feel free to hop anything in or out if you need to adjust your stance. Hips are square. Imagine you have 2 lightsabers sticking out your butt. Interesting analogy, but our imaginations go to weird places. And then one more breath here. Exhale, bend back into your right leg. Bring your right hand with the block on the inside of your right foot, and then walk yourself to a wide-legged straddle. Feet are in line with one another, and then just begin to bend from right to left. Whatever beat you want to go to, your hands, you should feel it have a little bit mobility in your upper arms or in your upper body as you use your lower body to hold you up. And then next time your left knee is bent, you're going to keep walking to the left. Find your left low lunge. Place your back knee down, untuck the back toes. Left knee is on top of left ankle. Walk the blocks out as far as you can. Find that connection, and then reach forward, out and up. Cool. Interlace your fingers, and then interlace them the weird way. Interlace them behind the base of your neck. Elbows are in. And same thing we did on this side. Whatever the beat is, inhale and exhale, round. Inhale, up, exhale, round. Elbows are still in. However you're breathing, whatever pace feels good. And then on the next time that you inhale, stay there, let your elbows come out. Still pressing forward. Lift your arms up, find the blocks again. Bring them back to frame your front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Find yourself here in your low lunge. Find this. And then inhale, lift the left arm up, twist. Keep your hips square, and then 3 circles forward. And 3 circles back. Just opening up the shoulder. And then find the block again. Strongly press down. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Great. Keep going, one more, press down to lift up. And then find your legs both straightened. Hop your right leg in if you need it all. Inhale, extend, exhale, bend. Let your torso go as forward as you can, still opening up the backs of the legs, working on the lower body, the foundation of what holds you up, really opening it all up so we can stand better and have more mobility. Shake your head out, relax your jaw, and then bend back into the left knee. Place the left hand with the block on the inside of your left foot. Bring yourself back to your wide-legged straddle. Cool. From here, once again, take those bends right to left, just to get a little bit more into the hips. A few more breaths here. Shake your head again, strongly pressing down through all 4 corners of the feet. And then the next time your right knee bends, keep walking, find your lunge, and then step your left foot up to come to a forward fold at the front of your mat. Cool, I'm gonna step myself back a little bit so I have more mat space in front of me. And then I'm gonna find one block under my left hand, find a slight bend in your knees, and feet are at hips width distance, which you can measure out by putting 2 fists together in between your arches. Knees are tracking over toes, left hand's on the block. Inhale, lift your right arm up, exhale, turn, swim. Inhale, left, exhale, swim. Going whatever pace feels good. Inhaling and exhaling. Seeing if you can follow your hand with your gaze. Finding your breath. And the next time that you swim forward with your left hand, then do a backstroke motion. So swim backwards and find the block. Same thing with the right hand. Getting both directions. Nice. Take one more. Imagine that you're swimming in a pool at the beach and the weather is very nice. And then the next time you've done both sides, let yourself just hang over your legs. First, real forward fold of class. Close your eyes. Imagine that there's a magnet between the crown of your head and the floor. And then just hang. Keep breathing. Then on your next inhale, you're going to interlace your hands the normal way behind your neck. Hug your elbows in towards your face and see if you can tuck your chin in. Still have a slight bend in your knees if you need to in this forward fold. One more breath. And then slowly, head is last to lift. Begin to roll yourself up to stand. And once you get to the top, you'll let your elbows come out. Standing in this slight back bend. And then let your arms drop. Shake it out. First time really standing. Take anything that feels good, just to let anything go. And then on your next inhale, find your feet as wide as your mat or whatever you're doing your yoga on, just a little bit wider than your hips. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, let them drop. Interlace your hands behind the base of your back and then let them hang over. Once again, knees are bent, tracking over your toes. It doesn't matter how flexible you are. And then sway your body from right to left. See if your hands can come a little bit more forward. Imagine you're hanging over something like laundry hanging on a clothes rack. Exhale, bring your hands to the back of your spine. Let your arms drop. And then begin to roll yourself up. Head is last to lift. Roll your shoulders back, find your feet. Awesome. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, up and drop. This time interlace the other hand behind, or the other pointer finger on top, so it feels super weird. Let your hands come over. And if this feels like a lot, you can just grab for hooked thumbs or something. Whatever feels good on your shoulders. You can take some sways. Great. Keep breathing. And on your next exhale, you'll let your hands go and stay down here, noticing what it's like to be in this wider forward fold. And then turn your feet out a little bit. So your heels are on the mat, toes are on the ground. Find one of your blocks, place it underneath where your butt will go, and then sit on it. And if you can't get your heels all the way down, another great place for your blanket to come underneath your heels. Or if this is too much still on one block, you can always sit on a throne of blocks, as they say. Cool, so find yourself in a supported malasana. And then find your hands coming to prayer. Cool, just use whatever props you need to find yourself comfortably here. Back is up super tall. Inhale and exhale. Finding your breath. And on your next inhale, you're going to place your right hand in front of your right foot on the ground, and then lift your left arm up. Take one breath here. And then come back to center. Place your left hand down in front of your left. Inhale, lift up. Feeling the connection between your upper arm and your knee pressing on one another. And then come back to center one more time, because it's always great to repeat. Place your right hand down, lift your left arm up. Equal and opposite force from your upper arm and your right knee to keep your knee tracking over your toes, staying here a little bit longer, looking up towards the sky. And then come back to center. Last time on the left, fingertips down, lifting up. Pressing forward with the knee, pressing back with the arm. Looking up, and then come back to center. Place your fingertips down and forward fold again, this time with your feet turned out. One more breath, and then find both blocks underneath your hands and step only your right foot back. So you can maneuver yourself up and down the mat, but keep that same stance. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Top of the back of the right foot is pressing back, and then take some circles to the left and the right here in this lizard pose. Gazing down and out. Place your back knee down and untuck the back toes. Knee is still tracking over the left toes. Then on your next inhale, you're gonna press yourself back, lift the left toes up, weird version of a runner stretch, and exhale, come forward. Inhale and exhale. Take this on your own time. Inhaling back. It's great to combine movement with breath, because then you can get more deep into the movement, because you're not holding your breath, you're not constricting the energy or the blood flow. One more. And then come back to center. Whatever height your blocks are on, press your right hand down strongly, place your left hand on your left knee, press your chest open. We kind of just did this. And if this feels nice and you feel like you can grab for your right foot, kick your right foot in towards your butt, and then reach around. Pressing and pulling. Isaac Newton's third law. I always say this, or I probably haven't said this in a while, but I always think Isaac Newton would have been great at yoga, because it's all about just having equal and opposite motion from one body part to another. There's your science lesson for today. One more breath, shoulders down and back, don't sink into either shoulder, and then let that go. Swim your left arm over, place your left hand on your left block, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, hop it through a malasana, and then hop the right or the left foot back. And then circles to the right, circles to the left, whatever feels good. Connect everything together. Mind, body, and breath. Try to stay focused on what you're doing and not your to-do list. And then on your next inhale, place your back knee down, untuck the back toes. Hands are strongly underneath your shoulders. Inhale, come back with the right toes up. Exhale, bend. Hips are still square, so you still have hips at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, or you have two car lights that are parallel to one another, or those two lightsabers shooting out. Choose your favorite Star Wars character and pretend. A few more. Gaze is down and out, your back is still long. And feel free to take a little bit slower movements here too if you want to stay back and you want to sway. Take a few more. And on your next inhale, we'll stop in the front. Placing your left hand on the block strongly, right hand on the right knee, looking up and open your chest to the right. And then if this feels nice, same thing. Feel free to kick your left foot to your butt and then swim your right arm back and around. That's why we did all these swims. So we have the space in our shoulders to reach back and behind us. And if they can't reach, or if you want to just do this, that's also great. Just strongly pressing down and not sinking into the shoulders or the hips. One more breath. And then swim your right hand forward, place it on the block, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, hop it to Malasana. Sitting down, the blocks are in front of you. See if you can hold this without sitting on a block. One inhale. And then place your hands down. Once again, forward fold, sway your hips from side to side, shake your head out. And then heel toe your feet so that they're back underneath your knees. When you're ready, you're in a forward fold with hips with distance. Shake out your head one more time. And then arms will come forward and knees will continue to bend until you find yourself gracefully plopping on the floor. Hopefully not making a sound, but if you do, it's also totally fine. Find yourself sitting cross-legged, once again on your blanket if you have one. Otherwise, just make sure that you're sitting super tall. Great. And from there, put the non-normal foot that you cross with in front. So this just kind of feels weird. Cool. From here, we're going to do a little bit of breath work just to clean things out and shake things up before we finish and relax. So your hands will come back to your shoulders like we did in the beginning. And we're taking a Bhastrika breath, which I'd like to think of as like someone sweeping, like in Sleeping Beauty when they have everything sweeping, or all those magical things where something's sweeping and it ends up making a mess. So you can think of that type of sway. And you're going to inhale as you twist to the left and exhale as you twist to the right. So let's all just start in center, take a normal breath together. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. And then you can sync up with the beat of the songs. You can inhale to the left and exhale to the right. And try to just do it with your nose. So your mouth is closed. You're inhaling when you twist to the left, exhaling out the nose when you twist to the right. No one's watching you. Imagine that you're one of those like spinning tops that's just revving up to then be shot out in the sky and shot up. Thinking about, imagining that somewhere you can go, somewhere you can be, somewhere where you want to go, something in your potential. Really using your nose. Sitting up super tall. Cleaning out all the dirt and the gunk to make room in your mind for more new things to imagine. And take this for a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Hook your thumbs, reach them up overhead. Let that just settle. Inhale, take 3 more sips through the mouth. Hold it at the top. And then exhale, let that go like you just popped a champagne bottle. Let your palms come face up on your knees, sit up super tall. Let all of that sensation just settle down. Find your normal breath, listen to it again. We like to rile things up to then experience the calm and the juxtaposition of the sensations to one another. Take 1 more breath here, just letting everything settle. You feel free to stay here as long as you want if that means something to you. Great. From here, we're going to lengthen out the legs again, same thing that we did in the beginning, but we might have more mobility this time. So you're going to bring your left foot back to kiss your right, sitting up tall, and then begin to walk yourself forward. Right toes face to the sky, knee is still slightly bent. We love a bent knee. A bend is like an and in the sentence, so it allows us to move from one thing to another. If our knees are locked out, then the energy can't flow. And notice how this feels compared to the beginning. See if gravity can help you come a little bit deeper. Both sits bones are pressing strongly down on the blanket. 1 more breath. And then begin to walk yourself back up to sit. And then staying here, a little bit of a plot twist, we're gonna just bring your left foot slightly closer in towards your crotch, for lack of a better word. And then you're gonna face diagonally this way. Knee still faces up towards the sky. You can grab for one of your blocks, hopefully they're not too far away. Place it in front of your knee on any height. Place your forearm on your knee, palm is facing up, and then reach up and over. So once again, imagining your Isaac Newton pressing your forearm into your knee into your forearm, and see if you can try to touch your left fingertips to your right toes. I'm not, so it really doesn't matter if you do. That's just the way that we're moving, looking for the energy to flow, arcing up and over. Chin is tucked into your armpit. 1 more breath. And then let your left hand come down, keeping the block there, it's totally fine. Place your left hand behind you, swinging your right arm around, just lift your hips up to just give it a little counter stretch. Come back to center. Switch it on over to the other side, give your legs a shake if that feels nice. Hug your right foot in. Left toes facing up, slightly bent, sitting up super tall, and then begin to walk yourself forward. Awesome. Keep breathing. Another reason why we like to do these poses more than once is because the experience is always different the second time. You're more familiar with where we're going, so it's always nice to do something you're more familiar with. Doing something for the first time is pretty anxiety-provoking or scary to some extent, so it's nice to do things more than once. 1 more breath, energy through both feet, and then begin to walk yourself back up. Same thing on this side, coming into Janu Shirshasana, bringing your right foot over to the right, facing out on the diagonal, knee is slightly bent, block on any height in front of your knee, forearm down, pressing knee into arm. That encourages your chest to lift up and over to the right, and then bring your arm over. Left toe is facing up. Leg is completely engaged. The entire body is engaged. Maybe not your fingers. Your fingers can kind of relax here. And don't tense your jaw. But you feel energy moving through all parts. Holding you up, encouraging you to open a little bit more. 1 more breath. And then come back up, place your right hand behind you, swing your left arm around, lift your hips up, stargazer, imagine you're looking up at something, and then come back down when you're ready. Bring your right leg to the forward, bring your left leg to the right leg to the front, meeting your left leg. Keeping this block there, we're gonna use it. So you can use it on any height or grab another one if you need to. Feet are up, knees are up, sitting up super tall, and then begin to walk yourself forward. And wherever you go, then just build a throne with your blocks to let your forehead rest on. So it's fine if they're both on their highest height and you go like this. That's a great way to be in this pose. And whatever you're using for blocks, just embrace what you have and do the best with it. It's fine if you don't always have like perfect props or anything. Take a few breaths here, coming back to your breath. You can close your eyes. It's always nice to have the forehead on something. You can roll it side to side to give your forehead a little bit of a massage. Keep breathing. Calming the nervous system by having contact on your forehead. So notice if your breath changes a little bit. Cool. And then slowly begin to bring yourself back up. Bring the blocks to either side in the front of your mat. And remove the blanket. Cross your knees or shins and then roll over and come back into a downward facing dog. From your down dog, you're just gonna pedal it out. And then on your next inhale, you're gonna roll your body forward and through to a plank pose. So find your plank pose and then just let your hips sink a little bit, but sink is a bad word because everything is still engaged. So let them drop a little and then come back to your plank. So we're just moving through a tuck-toed up dog. Plank, one more. And then bend your knees, stick your butt up, downward facing dog. Cool, pedal it out here one more time. One more thing standing and then we'll move to the floor. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up and then bring your right foot to your right thumb. Cool. Bring your blocks again on either side of your right foot and then lift your arms up, coming into a high lunge. Cool. From here, you're gonna straighten your right leg just to find your hips again, square, and then bend back into your high lunge. So find your best high lunge. Great, one breath. Energy out through all parts of the body. And then inhale, open to the right and swing up and back. Inhale, open to the right, both arms. See if you can hold your balance. If you fall, just get back into it. One more, hold it. And then see if you can find your left hand come to your left block. So if you need to change the height of your block, great. Find that connection between the outer knee and the elbow, and then lift your right arm up, coming into this twisted lunge. One more breath. And then swing your right hand over, find the right block on right hand on the right block, left hand on the left block. Begin to straighten your right leg, 1 second, and then bend back into your right knee. And then we'll just do a fun little hop switch here. So when you're ready, you're gonna get bouncy on both legs and then just hop and switch your lunge. Cool. From here, same thing, reach your arms up, come into your high lunge. Begin to straighten both legs, find your balance, and then bend into the left knee. Great. Inhaling, open, exhaling back up. Inhaling, open, exhaling back up. Third time, hold it. Great. Energy out through the back heel. Find your right hand to your right block or left block. Connect the left knee and the right elbow, and then twist. One more breath. And then swim the left hand forward. Find your blocks, find your hands on their respective blocks, straighten the left leg a little, and then come back into the lunge, move them out, and come back into your downward facing dog. Cool. This will be your last down dog, so pedal it out. Rounding your armpits in towards your heart. Bend the knees, stick the butt up, and then place your knees down as wide as the mat. Untuck the toes and come into a wide knee child's pose. Keep breathing. Find your breath here. Let things start to slow down. Finding your breath. Keep breathing there. See if your hands can come out a little bit more forward. Feel free to widen them so they're as wide as the mat. Take up as much space as you can. And then when you're ready, begin to roll yourself up. So we're gonna take a headstand practice. If you are outside, or if you are somewhere where there isn't a wall near you and you haven't really done headstand in the past, I recommend grabbing your 2 blocks, coming into a forward fold, putting your blocks in front of you, and then connecting the crown of your head to whatever height the blocks need to be. Cool. So you want the crown of the head resting on something. So this is what you can get yourself into if you don't really want to practice headstand. Otherwise, if you can do headstand by a wall, you can move your mat and connect it to a wall. Or if you've never done headstand before and just want to see what I'm about to say, then you can decide at the end. It's free. Everyone can do whatever they want. So we're just coming in from our child's pose. You're going to bring your knees together. I just like starting this way so we all start the same. Then you're going to grab your opposite elbow. Cool. You're going to place that down in front of you. Bring your hands to touch. Interlace them whichever way feels better, and then release the pinkies so that they're one in front of the other. Place that down. Then you're going to place the crown of the head in front of that so that the palms of the hands come to like the backish part of the hand. Surprise, we kind of did this before when we were doing all of the lunges and stuff. And then from there, you're going to still think of wrapping your elbows in towards your face because that's really what helps you keep up. And then come into a downward facing dog variation. Cool. So from there, you can just stay here if this feels good and you're like, I don't want to go anywhere else. Or you can come into an egg pose like thing where your feet just come in towards your butt. Or from there, if you feel steady, you can lengthen your legs up to the sky. And just take any breath. Let's all just take 10 breaths wherever we are. And if you're in that forward fold, or now if you want to decide to go to that forward fold, take 10 breaths there. Pressing down through the arms and pressing your elbows in even more really helps you stay up tall on the crown of your head. So you really just want everything to come in. Think of your belly coming in, ribs pulling in, energy shooting out through the heels and the feet. And whenever you've taken your 10 breaths, you're just going to come back into your child's pose. So no drama. If you're standing, doing a standing forward fold, just make your way back into a child's pose. And find your breath again. Great. Keep breathing. Notice if there's anything that feels like it just opened or anything like that. Notice how your abs feel. Notice how the back of the neck feels. And then in this child's pose position, you're just going to come up onto your elbows and place your neck in your hands. So we call this TV watching pose. This just helps release the neck after we just had our head on the ground. And no matter what you just did, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things if you went into a full headstand or not. As long as the top of the head was making contact with something, you got the sensation of there being contact, which is the whole point of what headstand is. So if you never do a headstand in your life, that is, you get a gold medal. And if you do a headstand, you also get one. So it totally fine if you never do one. Take a few more breaths here, letting the breath settle. The heart probably got a little bit quicker. And coming back to the breath. Great. And then when you're ready, just have your blocks and blanket handy, and you're gonna come into constructive rest, lying down on your backs. Feet are as wide as the mat. Knees are knocking in towards one another, so everything's just resting on itself. Blocks and blanket are at arm's length distance. Hands can rest on the lower belly or palms face up down by your sides, just to release the back one more time here. Cool. And we'll take a few more things here. So finding your blocks, place them on the medium height or the lower height, kind of on either side of your hips, like 10 to 20 centimeters or a foot away from your mat, depending on what metric system you use. I don't even know if that's the right term. And then hug both knees in towards your chest and give your back a little rock from right to left. Cool. And then when you're ready, you're just gonna let your knees fall over onto the block. That's to the right of you. Place your right hand on your left thigh. Lift or bring your left arm open to a T to the left, looking over your left shoulder, and let everything just relax down. And if the block feels like you don't need it, you're always welcome to remove it. It's just nice to try things with props. Keep breathing, relaxing the shoulders. Last little twist. Twist things up before we fully settle in Shavasana. And then come back to center. Rock your knees right to left. And then same thing, let them just drop over to the left side on the block, or if you know you don't need the block, remove it. You might get a nice little back crack. And then place your right arm out, left hand on the right knee. Shoulders down and away from the ears, right shoulder's pressing down and making contact with the floor. If your right shoulder doesn't make contact with the floor, you can bring the block to a higher level. And then coming back to center whenever you're ready. We're gonna end in a supported bridge pose just because it's nice, or a supported back bend, depending on what you want to end with. So you can either find one block, your knees will first, feet will first place down on the ground once you're back to center. You're gonna find one block, something that you can put your weight on underneath your lower back, right above your butt. Great, and if you don't have a block that you can put all your weight on, then I recommend just grabbing your blanket. And then you're gonna grab your blanket, find it in a rectangular shape, and roll it. Place it on your mat, and then roll yourself down slowly so that your shoulder blades come onto the blanket. Cool. So then you're in a nice back bend, either in the upper back or the lower back. I'm gonna just show both at the same time, but I don't think you should do this for safety reasons. So you can stay like this. Actually, you could try both if that was something that you wanted to do, but I recommend just staying in the one that you chose. And then find your eyes come to a close. Let the body melt down. Imagine that it's a hot summer day and you are just an ice sculpture just melting down wherever you are. Legs can come out. They can come to either edge of the mat so your feet can splay. Everything's just relaxed. Palms are facing up, arms are down by your sides. You're just out in like a T shape. And find your breath. Follow your breath. And imagine your breath is reaching all parts of your body. Take one more really big, deep inhale and deep exhale. Notice if your mind wandered off anywhere, and just let it be. Keep breathing. And then slowly begin to bring some wiggles back into your fingers and your toes. Rolling all around the body. And then begin to roll yourself to one side, coming into a fetal position. Take a breath there. And then begin to roll yourself back up to sit. You could sit on that blanket if it's folded up and ready for you. Or you can just sit on the ground, whatever's comfortable. Palms will come face up on your knees. Eyes will stay closed. Shoulders down and back. Take one more breath here. So we'll take one together, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. So we'll all meet on empty. Come to empty. And then inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Palms face up for a sense of being open and available to whatever our imaginations will bring to us. All the great and bad ideas we have, we accept them, then we let them go. Bring your palms to press together at the center of your chest. Gratitude towards each other, and gratitude towards yourself and your bodies for being able to move and do all we ask of them, and taking the time for yourself today. Bring your thumb knuckles in between your eyebrows to third eye center, and we'll end with a final bow. Namaste. Yay. Well, thanks guys for coming.
Danke, Dana.
Yay, bitte.